As I watched the windlass reel in the USS Colquhoun's anchor, one of the swabbies manning the hose that washed mud off the heavy chain as it clanked aboard turned to me. "You fellas had a pretty rough time there, didn't you, Marine?" the young man asked, jerking his head in the direction of Tulagi. If it had been another sailor on another ship asking me such an obviously stupid question, I would have gotten pissed and snapped him off, telling him yes, and it was the damn Navy's bug-out that contributed so mightily to our hardships. But this sailor was a crewman on one of our APDs, and we had formed a close attachment to them, and they to us, so his inquiry did not offend me. I knew he was sincerely concerned. "Yeah," I replied, "pretty rough. I lost my best friend." "That's too bad," he said, and I knew he meant it. "We hated leaving you guys stuck there, but we were ordered out. We were pissed as hell." "That's nice of you to say," I told him, and he returned to his duties. I didn't have the heart to tell him that the 1st Marines on the Canal had taken to calling themselves the 1st Marooned Division. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. As I watched our APDs leave Tulagi behind, my thoughts turned to the large mass of jungle and mountains that sat broodingly 20 miles off our bow and drew closer with each turn of the Colquhoun's twin screws. Volcanic in origin, Guadalcanal is a big island, one of the largest in the Solomon chain, 800 miles in length and 34 wide. It's ringed by a coastal plain, which ranges between 3 and 10 miles in depth, and is sliced by a profusion of streams, creeks, and rivers flowing down from the mountainous heartland. A few hundred yards in from the beach, the gentle plain becomes an endless ripple of steep-sided ridges of varying heights, blanketed mostly with kunai grass that grows to between 3 and 10 feet in height. The greenish-brown ridges stand out naked against the tropical rainforest that laps around their bases. The beaches that the 1st Marines had stormed on August 7th are 10 to 20 yards wide at high tide, ending at the tree line. Beyond the trees, a 2-lane government-built dirt road etched the coastline. Single-lane log bridges, many laid in by the Japanese, span most of the waterways, including the Lunga, Ilu, Teneru, and Mataniko rivers, and Kukum, Alligator, and Block 4 creeks. Our Seabees later bridged these waterways with pontoon spans, since most log bridges had 3-ton weight limits and could not stand up to our heavier equipment. When the Marines splashed ashore on Cactus, the code name for Guadalcanal, the Jap ground troops, caught with their pants down, hightailed it into the jungle, so the Gyrenes met no resistance. Since then, with our Navy gone following their drubbing at Savo Island, the Japanese had begun reinforcing Guadalcanal. Landing barges bulging with troops boldly disembarked their human cargo within sight of the Marines, who could do nothing but spit nails and watch. Things got a little easier on August 20th when the first of our aircraft, Marine fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo planes, arrived from the escort carrier USS Long Island. This force, meager at first, constituted what became known as the Cactus Air Force. They immediately proceeded to make life hell for the Japanese, as they bombed and strafed enemy shipping in the Slot, our nickname for that stretch of water between Guadalcanal and the enemy base on Bougainville. Suffering heavy losses in barges and men, the Japanese High Command began using high-speed destroyers as troop transports, landing 600 to 800 men at night to avoid our planes, and then shelling Marine positions before departing back for their main anchorage at Rabaul in New Britain. That was what awaited us on Guadalcanal, whose cloud-shrouded mountain peaks rose picturesquely against the sky. It's little wonder that the Marines, choked off from supplies with our Navy gone, began referring to Operation Watchtower, codename for the invasion, as Operation Shoestring. But before we could experience the luxuries of Guadalcanal, we first had to get there safely, which I almost did not. As we approached our anchorage at Kukum Point, the booming of naval guns, which had been faint when we left Tulagi, swelled in volume. A few of our Navy ships, taking advantage of daylight when our planes could keep enemy surface vessels at bay, were shelling targets inland. I could see the pinpricks of light flashing amid the green of the jungle, announcing where a shell had exploded. By dusk, of course, our ships would be gone, and the Japanese would sail into Iron Bottom Sound to take their turn at pounding us.